no, I'm scared. No. If we just plan a little bit more. It looks like a plan, but it's actually self-sabotage. You spent how many years planning for this goal, and that's not even the goal that you're supposed to be having. This is the dream life. You don't need to plan anything. You just need to trust. Hello and welcome. You have entered a Black Girl's Orbit. I am your host, Zara. I will be your host from now until forever, I hope. We have just entered the first week of January. You made it. Congratulations. You have made it into another year. I hope you had the best New Year's. I hope you had positive reflection. I hope you did all the dream vision boards. I hope you wrote down all your goals. I hope you made action plans towards them. Now we're going to talk about putting them into action. Okay? You can plan it all you want. This episode got me fired up. You know why? Because I was planning this episode and I have procrastinated on actually sitting down and filming it. Not even that I have procrastinated, but it's just been so hard to get it done. It was Christmas and it was New Year's, and then the baby wouldn't sleep, and now I'm filming it literally. It comes out tomorrow. I'm filming it the day before. It's 10 o'clock at night and I'm filming this the day before. If you're listening to this, I'm recording this the day before. Like, this is not normal for me. This is not going to become a habit for me. Actually, this is really bad. Like, this is actually quite terrible. And I've been telling myself, I'm not going to do this. Like, I have episodes planned in advance, but to be able to get them done, to be able to sit down and actually record them and film them and edit them and have them scheduled, for some reason that takes me forever to do. Or I find all the reasons why I can't do it, or I find all the excuses for why okay, on Thursday then I'll do it. Why? Your episodes come out on Fridays, Zara. You have the entire week to get this filmed. The entire week. You're not even at production level yet. If you can't I have a vision for this podcast, right? I know what I want it to look like. I know what I envision for it. I know a little bit. I have dreams for the podcast. I know I want a set type vibe and all of these things. And if I can't, at this level, with my one camera, my one light, and my one mic, get it done, edited, uploaded, and scheduled before the day that it comes out, what am I going to do when we've got big set, when there's loads of lights and there's loads of cameras and there's loads of mics and loads of things need my attention, and I need it done way in advance so that everything is perfectly done, right? So that things don't get pushed back, so that things aren't off time, like so that things get posted when they're supposed to. If I can't do it now, and my little three pieces of equipment and myself, how am I going to do it then, right? And I will say, oh, it's because I need a plan. I just need to plan better. I need to schedule better. I can plan and schedule all I want. I just need to get it done. I can plan and schedule all I want. Spirit has given me such abundance in creativity, such abundance in how my brain is working at the moment, in my zone of genius, in my passion, in my creativity, in speaking through me, that these episodes, they come to me so fast. I'm like, I want to talk about this and I want to talk about that and I want to talk about that. I've got episodes for days. And I've scheduled them. I know like all the episodes I want to do in January. I know all the episodes I want to do in February at this point. So then why don't you just film them in advance? You can edit as you go, but why don't you just film them in advance, Zara? I don't know. I don't know. And so we're going to talk about taking action, because we can get caught up in the planning. We can get caught up in scheduling and planning, in the vision boards, in the writing down of our goals. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Do it first. Write down all the goals. Make the vision boards for what you want for this year. Like, we're 2 days into the year. Tomorrow will be 3 days into the year, right? We've just begun. We've just begun. But don't make the excuse that we've just begun mean that for the whole of January, I'm just going to plan everything. I'm going to plan. I'm going to plan for the whole of January. I'm going to think about exactly the perfect way of how I'm going to get my goal. Yes. Think about the perfect way that you're going to do that. But sometimes it may not work that way. Sometimes there is no plan to be followed. Sometimes you just have to take the action. And even with the most perfect plan, things are going to happen. There's going to be obstacles. There's going to be setbacks. There may be mindset changes that you have to make. There may be people you have to let go of. There may be a whole load of things that you weren't expecting to affect your plan. But you still have to do it anyway. You still have to take the action. You still have to show up for the result, for the goal. Sometimes you can plan all you want, and Spirit's going to take that plan and throw it out the window. Take the plan, throw it out the window. Because who are you? Who are you? What? Who are you? Like, it's not on your time. It's sometimes just not on your time. Like, sometimes it's on the time that it's supposed to be on, and you just have to get it in when you can. Like, you might say, okay, cool, I've planned my day out. Like, even if we give like a very small example, you might say, I've planned my day out, right? I'm going to go to the gym 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to get to work 7 o'clock in the morning. And then on the way to the gym, there's an accident. Then what are you going to do? You're going to not go to the gym, or you're going to get to work late, or you're going to be like, I'm still going to do both. I'm just going to take the action. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. I'm going to do both, but I might have to shorten my workout so that I can still get to the work on time. I'm going to go to the gym and I might only be there for 5 minutes, but I did it. I might only get on the treadmill for 10 minutes, but I'm going to do it. Instead of saying, oh, there was an accident, I can't do it now. I'll plan for it tomorrow. I'll reschedule. I'll fit it in sometime. No. No. And this is the thing. I'm not saying no to you. I'm saying no to myself. Because I'll be like, I'll be like, oh, my son won't let me film today. He's woken up from his nap. He's really groggy, whatever. Like, But when I need to, when there's when my back is against the wall, I'll get it done. Like, it's 10 o'clock. He went to bed at 7:30. I had other things to do. I cleaned the house, tidied up, all of that stuff. And I was like, well, I need to film the podcast, so I have to film it. So it needs to go out tomorrow. So I'm going to do it. I have to do it today. So here I am doing it. So why not? Could I have done it every day before this at this time? No? That wasn't a possibility? Couldn't do that? No? Do you get what our brains are so interesting, and we will literally procrastinate as much as we possibly can, and make excuses for ourselves as much as we possibly can before we will just take action. And it's not easy. I know it's not easy. And sometimes it's two parts of your brain, right, that are genuinely fighting. They are fighting. There is this version of you that wants to take action, that wants to show up for themselves, that wants to do the hard things, that wants to put themselves in uncomfortable situations for the growth, that wants to grow, that wants to be the better them, that wants to step outside their comfort zone, that wants to push themselves to the max. Most people want to do those things, but there is a side of them, the old side of them, the less evolved side of them, the less mature side of them, the side of them that's in survival mode, that is fighting that because it wants to be comfortable. Our bodies want us to be comfortable. Our brains want us to be comfortable. Our ego wants us to stay in our comfortability. Our younger self wants us to stay where we're comfortable and where we're safe, even if in that place where we're comfortable and safe isn't necessarily comfortable and safe. And by that, I mean, we can get so used to the dysfunction in certain places. We can get so used to the uncomfortability in certain places that we feel comfortable there. We have made ourselves adapt to fit in this area, in this little life that we have. So much so that we've conditioned ourselves, we brainwashed ourselves to feel like, yeah, we're here, we're safe here, like we're comfortable here. No, we don't want to grow because that's uncomfortable. We don't want to excel. That's uncomfortable. We don't want to move forward from where we are now because we'll lose all of our friends, or we will look like we're doing too much, or we will be perceived in the way that we don't want to be perceived, or sometimes we just don't want to be perceived at all, but our dreams are telling us that we want to be famous. Those two things can't coincide. They can't live together. They don't work together. Internally we're fighting. Like we're fighting, and you're often fighting the most with yourself internally when you are at that breaking point where it is like, no, we are stepping into this new identity. We are stepping into this new version of ourselves. We are taking action towards the things and the dreams and goals that we have. And we've started the process, but that version of us that got us to this place, we still have to be grateful for that person because they got us where we are now. We wouldn't have the mindset that we have if that version of us didn't get us here, right? So we have to be grateful for them. But they're like, no. No, I'm scared. No. If we just plan a little bit more, if we just understand the vision a bit more, if you just explain to me exactly what's gonna happen, because I'm scared to let go of this. Like I can't see on the other side of this. That's when we're fighting ourselves the most. Like we are fighting internally the most at that point because we're at the breaking point. You just have to push a little bit harder. You just have to overcome it just a little bit more, because on the other side of that is the version, is the person who is taking action, is that new identity, is that new version of yourself, right? Is that better version of yourself, is the person who is fully in their growth and is taking action towards the things and dreams that they want, right? But it's hard. It's so hard until it's just not. It's so hard until it's just not. And I will sit down. Like, I'm one of those girlies who it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I'm going to change my whole life. And I'll sit there for an hour and I'll plan. And it's like, even that, Zara's procrastination. Because actually, if you just go to sleep, wake up, and then take the action towards changing your life instead of sitting down for another hour when you should already be asleep, planning how you're going to change your life. And then in the morning, you're so exhausted that you can't actually take the action towards this plan that you had made the night before because you stayed up planning. It's like the cycle, it's not the dots aren't connecting. But I will do it. I've done it so many times. And the way you feel when you make the plan, you're like, yeah, I can do this. Yes, I'm going to be her. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be that person. And then you don't. You don't, because you wake up and you're exhausted. You're tired. What can't be done in the morning that you're doing in the night? You can't make the plan during the day? It's like you're self-sabotaging. It looks like a plan, but it's actually self-sabotage. It looks like you want to change your life, but actually it's self-sabotage. It looks like a plan, but actually it's procrastination. And I watched a YouTube video a couple of days ago, posted it on my TikTok, and um, a woman was talking about a black woman. I love watching black women. Black woman was talking about how planning and procrastination look very similar. And I was like, ooh, maybe that's me. Maybe that's what I've been doing all this time. Like, maybe it's been procrastination and I've signed it off as, no, I was just planning. Like, I just needed more time to plan. I just needed more time to think about it. I just needed to figure fully out like what it was going to look like. And I don't. You don't. You don't. You know, internally, you've done it. You did it. We're 2 days into the new year. You've probably, maybe you haven't. If you haven't started planning yet, maybe you need to. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you already know everything that you want to go and do. You just need to start doing it. And the thing is, we can plan so easily in our brains, right? That when you sit on something for such a long time, and I'm not talking about like when you haven't fully got all the answers yet and you're waiting for that divine intervention, you're waiting for that voice to tell you what path to go and which way to turn. That's not what I'm talking about. That's its own thing. Yes, sometimes you need to be in a planning stage. You need to be in a rest period. You need to be in an isolation stage in order to ruminate on those things, in order to hear the voice, in order to get the download so that you're making the exact right decision. Those things are different and they are in their own way planning, right? Internal planning. Sometimes you need to cleanse, you need to weed out all the negative in order to make room for the next steps and the set of action that you're going to take after that stage, right? But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sitting and planning and you have all the steps. You have outlined every single step in your brain. You're like, well, for example, I want to become a content creator. I would make videos about this and this and this and this. And you know internally everything that you would make videos about. So why haven't you made the video yet? Why haven't you made one video yet? Why haven't you taken one step yet? You've bought the workout plan. You've bought the gym membership. You just haven't attended yet. You haven't stepped foot inside the gym yet. You've done all the prep. You've done all the plans. You know all the steps to take. You just haven't started yet. Why? Because you're procrastinating. Procrastinating for what? Procrastinating about what? What is there to procrastinate about? You know the vision. You see the goal. You know what you want. What is there to procrastinate about? There's nothing to procrastinate about. There's nothing to keep planning about. Nothing. You just got to do now. You just have to take the action now. You've got to take the step now, and you have to do it scared. Do it anyway. Do it with no plans. Sometimes you just have to do it with no plans, or sometimes do it with the little bit of plan that you do have and go from there. Because the thing is, there's no matter. What I've learned is there's no matter how much planning I do, things are gonna happen and the plan is gonna have to change and I'm gonna have to adapt. That's just life. We cannot foresee every single thing that's gonna happen. So no matter how much you plan, the plan may have to change. It may have to change. So you just have to start taking the action so that when the plan does change, you're able to adapt and continue to make steps towards your goal, right? Yeah. Yeah. I was stuck in the planning phase with a lot of things. I used to want everything to be perfect. Like, this podcast doesn't have an intro. There's no intro. I talk, that's about it. But there's no like graphics. There's no interlude type music. It's literally just starts with a little clip about what this podcast episode is about, and then it's me talking. There's no graphics, there's no nothing, right? And it's because previously, anytime that I had a thought in my brain to do something or create a vision for something, I tend to see the end goal, right? I am starting to learn that maybe I have the gift of vision. I know the end product of something. I can see way. I can see the potential of something. I can see where something may possibly go in its bestest light, in its bestest environment, experience, whatever. And I do it with people as well. I can see where they could be, where they can go. And because of that, I think a lot of women have that, to be fair. I think that's a trait of women. vision, right? They see potential, they see vision. But I do that with everything. I used to do it with projects, and I would sit down and be like, okay, I have this art project and I can see what the end of it looks like, but I can't see how to get there. Have no idea. I can see like, oh, I want my art project is going to be this thing. I know exactly how I want it to look on the page, but I can't make it look like that. And so I would get so frustrated in the making of it, in the beginning stages of it, because I know what I want it to look like at the end, but it doesn't look like that right now. And so I would just get so frustrated, right? I wanted it to be like this, but I can't get that on the page, and I'd get so frustrated. So I would just not do it. I would just not do it until my back was up against the wall, and then I had to do it. So whatever I did is what it was. Right? My child is up. 1 second. Okay. We're back. Yeah, I can see what I want something, the end result to look like. And so I would procrastinate. I used to do it with my essays at university. I knew what I wanted the entire essay to be about as soon as I read the question. Knew the ins and outs of it. And I would sit there and plan the whole thing for ages. I'd put it off. I'd put it off because I know what I want it to be about, but I didn't want to write it all. And I didn't feel like the words that I was gonna write was gonna do the answer that I had justice. I just felt like it wasn't good enough. And I hated the process of going through it and then having to go back and fix every single part of it. I just wanted it to be perfect as soon as I did it. Like I wanted it all to be great straight out the bat because I knew what I wanted the answer to be, right? Or I knew exactly what I wanted the essay to look like. So I would wait until the last minute, write the whole thing, go through it as much as I could, and then be like, oh, whatever it does now, whatever it looks like now, I just have to submit it because I'm out of time. And so I would convince myself that I was okay with whatever came out of it, because if I actually had put in the work that I knew I could have, if I had actually written an essay that I knew I wanted to write, I knew I would have gotten a better grade. And it's like, that's stupid. Zara, that's stupid. Why didn't you just put in the work and go through the process of it not looking how you want to look, how you want it to look, and then working hard so that it does look how you want it to look, so that when you do submit it, you're so proud of yourself for the thing that you've done. And even if the grade comes back not the grade that you may thought of that it was gonna come back, you put your all into it. No. You didn't want to feel disappointed in your grade and how much work you put in. So you'd put less work in and then convince yourself that the grade is because you didn't put as much work in. And I got good grades. I did well, but it was like, if you know you could have done better had you have done the work for the goal and the vision that you had of that essay, then why didn't you just do the work? Like, what the hell? Like, and at the time I didn't get it. It was like, I just have this thing, like I'll just procrastinate. I just don't like procrastinating. And now it's like, you were self-sabotaging. You were self-sabotaging. You was afraid of disappointment. You didn't want to be disappointed with all the hard work that you'd put in. You was afraid of failure, but you didn't put any work in. So, or you didn't put as much work as in that you could have. So, I say that to say we have to stop with the procrastination. We have to stop with the planning. And because I can see the vision with, that's what I was saying. Because I can see the vision with this podcast, with other stuff as well, like creatively, I will do all the back end stuff. I will want all the graphics to look perfect. I will want the logo to look amazing. And it's like, it might not in the beginning. actually, you don't know how to make the logo look the way that you vision it in your brain right now. So why don't you make what you can right now? And then after putting in the work, after taking all the action, the things that you need will fall into place. The people that you need will fall into place so that you can have that logo that you envision in your brain in reality. Maybe that logo isn't being made by you. Maybe that logo is being made by a designer or graphic designer that you meet along the way of filming the podcast. But you have to film the podcast first. Maybe the set that you want for the podcast isn't even in existence yet. You have to make it. But you need to film the podcast first. You're not going to get there until you take the action first. You need to put in the work first. Maybe the vision that you have requires someone that you meet in the process of that vision, of creating that vision, right? Maybe there's a team of people that are going to be helping you with the business that you know you're supposed to have. But you have to start the business first in order to meet that team of people, right? Maybe there's a partner that you want, and they are the type of person who's going to take you on lavish dates and help you travel the world. But maybe you meet them in a different country. So you actually have to start doing the traveling first, and then you'll be traveling with them. You know, it's something's placed on your heart. And I literally was just saying this 5 minutes ago in a TikTok that I filmed. Something is been placed on your heart. It's been placed on your heart for a reason. And sometimes if you are constantly having this urge to do something, it's because you're supposed to be doing it right now. You're supposed to be doing it right now. You're supposed to be taking action right now with what you have. And I say this often. I say this on the podcast at least like once a week. In every episode at this point. You have to be taking action first. All the steps are going to fall into place. Everything you need is going to be given to you, but you cannot get stuck in the planning phase. Sometimes it's not your plan to plan. Sometimes it's not your plan to plan. Sometimes you've been given the goal, you've been given the objective. The plan is done by itself. The plan is done through time, in progression. The plan is done through divine timing. The plan is done by God. The plan is done by spirit. The plan is done by whomever you believe in. You just have to take the first step. The plan isn't for you to plan. You've been told to take action. You've been given a goal, a vision, a dream, a wish, a hope to work towards it, not to sit down and plan it for 10 years of your life, right? We get given an opportunity to do the things that we want and the things that we have a vision and dream of. And sometimes the goal that we end up with isn't even the goal that we started with, the goal that we thought we wanted. And in that case, you spent how many years planning for this goal, and that's not even the goal that you're supposed to be having. This is the dream life. Over here, you think you want that, but that's in the pipeline waiting for you. You can't even see this yet, but you're too busy planning that, haven't even started trying to get there. Meanwhile, this is waiting for you. You know, you have to expose yourself to that goal first in order to even see this one round the corner, waiting for you. It's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes spirit's like, yeah, we have this goal for you. Here you go. Here's the baby thing. Here you go. Here's the small one. Oh, you want to make 10K? Here's the baby dream. We'll plant it in your brain. Right now, you can only think of 10K. That's max for you right now. We have so much more waiting for in abundance for you. But you're not there yet. You have to be exposed to the 10K, because the 10K is going to introduce you to someone that makes 100K. And then we can get you that goal. And then we can get you the million. And then we can get you the billion. What? Meanwhile, you're sitting at your little 10K planning your 10K and a billion is waiting for you. You just still planning? You're not taking action towards the 10K. If you knew that 100K was there round the corner after you reach that 10, you'd be taking action towards the 10, wouldn't you? It doesn't work like that. You actually have to do it first, right? And sometimes I know, not even sometimes, I know for me, the way my spirit team works, it's like, yeah, we'll give you this baby goal. Are you gonna do it though? Are you gonna try and get there? Are you gonna work hard for it? Okay, cool. Once we give it to you, once we show you that vision, are you gonna put in the work to get there? Because if not, we're not gonna give you anything else. You have to be the type of person who works hard for this so that when that comes, you're already prepared. You've already been putting in your 10,000 hours. You've already been putting in the work. You've already showed up for yourself. You've already built the self-confidence. You've already built the resilience. You've already built the endurance to get here so that when we show you this, you're like, light work. I can do that. I just did this. But you have to prove to yourself that you can do this first before they show you that, before that's shown to you. And our brains are only limited by what we understand right now. So sometimes our goals might seem so big and so vast and so scary and so daunting and so illogical. I can't do that. I can't reach that. It wouldn't be in your brain if you couldn't reach it. It wouldn't be given, it wouldn't be a speck of hope, dream, prize if you couldn't reach it. Because once you reach it, something else will be a goal. Something else will be shown to you. Another dream will be shown to you. And now you got to go and do that. You got to work towards that. You got to take action towards that. But you got to take action first in any direction. And that tug and that push and pull in your brain of, I need to take that step towards growth, but I don't want to. We're comfortable here. We're safe here. We don't have to try too hard here. You have to fight that. You have to fight that. You have to fight that. That will have you planning every day of the week. That will have you planning until you're black and blue because it's so scared to take action. That version of you just wants to be safe. And it makes sense. Of course. 5-year-old you needs to fully understand what they're doing. Fully understand it. Explain it to me again. Okay, so we're going to take a left and then a right and then, okay. Explain it to me again. So we're going to take a left and then a right and then, okay. Right? That's the little version of you inside you going, okay, so we're going to, no, I need to understand it again. So we're going to take a left and then a right and then, okay. But you know what happens for that 5-year-old? They have someone next to them, like their mom or their dad or someone that they trust, going, no, you're going to be fine. We're going to take a left and then a right, and I'm going to show you where we're going. Every step of the way, I'm going to hold your hand. We're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. And they trust in that person. They trust in who it is who's going to take them through that journey. They're trusting in them. We have to build that within ourselves. We have to be that for ourselves. And even if you haven't built trust within yourself yet, trust in your higher power. Trust in your spirit team. Trust in your ancestors. Trust in whoever it is that you believe in. Trust that they gave you this goal. They've shown you this thing. They've given you the map to get there. And you just have to trust them. You might not see where X marks the spot. You might not see all the dotted lines. They're holding your hand. They're going to take you there. You just have to trust them. They might not say we're going to take a left and then a right. Okay, we're going to take a left and then a right. They might not be saying that. They're just saying, take one step. Take another step. Turn to the left. Now turn to the right. And you just have to listen. Be obedient. And make it happen. And just keep doing it. One step after another once it comes to you. One step after another once it comes to you. And maybe we should stop planning so much and just start sitting down and asking, what's the next step? What's the next step? Give me the next step. Show me the next step. Put me on the right path. Hold my hand. Give me the strength. Help me get through this. Show me I am capable. You don't need to plan anything. You just need to trust. You don't need to plan anything. You just need to trust in your actions. Write down the goals and trust in your actions. Let this be the year that you trust in your actions. Start taking action. Don't let the time pass without you taking this action towards the goals and dreams that you have. Don't. Just because you're scared. Fight. Do that internal fight. And the thing is, the more you do the hard thing, the more you prove to yourself that you can trust yourself, the easier it gets. The quicker that old version of yourself is like, yeah, cool, she's got it. We trust her. The quicker the 5-year-old is like, yeah, cool, she's got us. We trust her. She's doing the thing. She's doing it. We're in good hands. Oh, she fell, but she picked us back up. She failed, but she tried again. We're okay. Right? And you build the resilience and you just keep doing it. You keep doing it. You keep doing it. You keep doing it. You keep taking the action. And more will come. Steps will come. This was for me. This is for me because I love a plan. When I tell you I love a plan, I love a plan. That's why I had to just be like, I'm just going to upload the podcast. I'm not going to sit here and try and make it look all crazy cute and aesthetic, because in due time, when it's supposed to be crazy cute and aesthetic, it will be. Right now, I've been told to give the message. Give the messages. Talk on the mic. Okay, cool. Have your little 3 pieces of equipment and talk on the mic. Be consistent with it. Do good with it. Be on time with it. Zara. Be on time with it. Shouldn't be recording the episode that's going to come out tomorrow today. The day before. No, you should not. Right? But you're only given what you can handle. I can handle this. I can and I will. And I will prove to myself that I can handle this, so that when there's more viewers, when there's more people, when there's more aesthetics, I can handle that. When I'm on a set, when there's a team of people that are helping me produce this podcast, I can handle that. Because I've been able to do it all by myself. But I need to be able to do it all by myself. And I know that. Anyway, this has been episode 5. Wow. This has been episode 5 of A Black Girl's Orbit. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope this episode makes you go out and take action towards the goals and dreams and vision that you have for this year. I hope you grab this year in your hands, throw the plan away, and just start taking the steps towards it. Start trusting in yourself. Start building the trust within yourself. Start trusting in your higher power, in whoever it is that you believe in, to get you there. You will get there. Sometimes you just gotta have some faith. The vision was placed on your life for a reason. You just gotta take some action, and you have no idea, in the grand scheme of things, what is waiting for you. You have no idea. I'll see you guys next week. Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year. Bye.